and a big welcome back to the Wee Larder channel. Today we're going to make a delicious rhubarb and almond upside down cake. It is so lovely, it's really easy to make, and it's a really nice recipe to make at this time of year using up all of that lovely rhubarb that is available. So to get started on this recipe, we're going to pause at these ingredients here, so take a note of everything here, and we're going to start by stewing our rhubarb. So we're just going to stew it lightly, but we don't want it too mushy. So we're going to add our rhubarb into our pan there. Also going to add in our brown sugar, and we're going to add in our vanilla paste there as well. So we're just going to add in our butter as well, and we're going to stew this very lightly for about 10 minutes or so until this is nice and soft. We don't want it too mushy, but we do want it quite well cooked. So we want to keep it on about medium heat and just stew it down. You'll get a good idea from the picture here as to what it looks like. So if you keep stirring away and cooking your rhubarb down for a few minutes, when it is bubbling and the sugar and everything, the butter is melted, the sugar is dissolved, we're going to spray the bottom of our cake pan with some of this oil spray here. It's not the best, but it does work really well. You can use a little bit of butter if you don't want to grease your pan with the spray. We're just going to add all of our rhubarb into the bottom of the pan there. So it's not too mushy, it's not broken down completely, it still has a bit of texture about it, and we're just going to pop that into the bottom of the cake tin there. So if you just spread that out, and we're going to leave that to cool while we make the cake mixture for the top. So if you just set that to the side and just leave it to cool. So we're going to add our butter into our mixing bowl. And we're going to add in our sugar as well. So we've got our butter quantity for our cooking the rhubarb, and we've got a butter quantity for this, so just make sure you don't get the two mixed up. So it's the larger one for making the sponge. So we're just going to mix our cream, our butter and sugar together until it is nice and creamy looking. So you can use a handheld mixer or a stand mixer for this. I sometimes just like to use the handheld mixer. Sometimes it's quicker for like cleaning up and stuff, so I'm just using my handheld mixer here. So we're now just going to add our eggs into our butter and sugar mixture, and we're going to give that a good mix through again with the handheld mixer. So you should have something that looks like this. Just make sure to scrape down your sides and get everything mixed through well. So we're going to add our flour in now. And we're going to add in our ground almonds as well. And we're just going to give that a good mix through again. We're just going to add in our almond extract there as well, so just a little bit of that. I just love adding in the almond extract. It just gives this cake such a delicious flavor boost. It's so lovely. So if it's something that you don't really want to skip, if you don't have it, you could add a little bit of vanilla in instead. So we're just going to add in our milk there as well. This is just to thin it out a little bit before we pop it into the cake pan. So if we just blend that through really well until we have a nice creamy cake batter consistency. And we're now just going to pour our cake batter on top of our cooled rhubarb. And we're just going to smooth that out there as well. And we're going to pop that in the oven at 160 for about 30 to 40 minutes. You might need a little bit longer. Just make sure that you pop a cake pin through the middle of the cake and make sure it comes out clean. If it comes out clean, it is ready. If you don't have a cake pin, you could use a knife or something as well. So you're looking for about 30 to 40 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. Just depends really. I was about 40 minutes for my one. So we're going to pop that into the oven at 160 for about 40 minutes. Just make sure you pop a cake pin in the center of the cake to check that it is cooked all the way through, so your cake pin should come out clean. And when it is ready, we're going to take it out, cool it, and we're going to flip it over like so. So we're going to leave it to cool before we turn the cake over, otherwise it will just fall to pieces. So you want to leave it to cool completely before you take the cake tin off of your cake. I just find it works best this way. You can try it as it's hot if you want to, but I just find it makes everything gel together really nicely if you just leave it to cool in the cake tin before you take it out. You could also add a little bit of greaseproof paper on there as well, that would also help. And it should look something like this when it is ready. So you just smooth down any bits sticking up off the top. It's not the prettiest of colours, I will admit, but it is absolutely delicious. I love this cake, and it is really good with custard or cream as well. It's just a really nice recipe at this time of year. And although the ground almonds does make it quite dense, it is just really, really nice, and it still has a sort of lightness about it as well. You could also make this in a rectangular shaped tin. You could make it into like cake bars instead of a larger cake, like upside down cake bars. That would be really, really nice. I haven't tried it, but I'm sure it would come out very, very similar. But in a bar shape, that would also work really well. So you can see here the texture is really lovely. And again, although there was ground almonds in it, which I find sometimes makes the cake a little bit heavy, it still is actually really nice and fluffy. So it's a lovely cake. So I hope you enjoyed making this delicious upside down almond cake recipe. And if you did, please feel free to give this video a big thumbs up. Got lots of lovely videos coming out soon. I've got another day in the life video coming up soon as well. So if you enjoyed the last one, I have another one coming up soon too. I have my free traditional Scottish cookbook available over on my website, and I'm also in the middle of producing my Scottish tea room cookbook, so that's going to be coming out soon as well. So stay tuned over on my website for that. If you're on Instagram, please feel free to pop over and say hello. And if you haven't subscribed and you enjoyed this video, please feel free to click the subscribe button, and if you click the little bell next to it, I will see you guys again soon. So take care, lots of love, I'll see you soon, bye bye.